Brie Larson's name is quite a polarizing one. She was on the news back when Captain Marvel was released, and it wasn't for good reasons. She was disliked by her co-workers, she hated white men, she was so full of herself in interviews, she was rude, and I have seen a lot of comments from way back calling her a narcissist.
You think that everybody else can't do it themselves. They need your help because you're such an egomaniac. Isn't that right, Brie Larson?
But are all of these statements true? Or were we so reactionary that we let other people cloud our judgment? Hi, my name is Clay, and you are watching The Freak Show Files, a channel where we see both sides of the coin by playing devil's advocate for our subject matter. And today, Brie Larson is going to be judged. But so are we. Full transparency before continuing forward, I was a Brie Larson hater.
Oh my god!
Not like commenting anything on her socials or harassing her, but I did consume a lot of YouTube, and there was a moment where her face was in a lot of thumbnails speaking about her, giving evidence and explaining body language. So yeah, never bothered to investigate things myself. If multiple YouTubers are saying the same thing, then it must be true, right? Well, let's just see about that. Brie is a very reserved person. However, the little we know about her is that she was born on October 1st, 1989 in Sacramento, California. She was homeschooled, and by the age of 7, her parents had divorced. Dad disappeared. Around this time, Brie began to show a lot of interest in acting. She will grab a camcorder and create her own movies. This made her mom move to LA so Brie could go to acting classes. And it's not like they had money to spare, but mom saw something special in her daughter's talent. So Brie, her mom, and her sister had to live in a tiny one-room apartment with limited clothing, but they were working together as a family, which is the important part. And it paid off because Brie made it, all while being a very introverted kid suffering from severe social anxiety. She started on The Tonight Show
With the new Roadkill Easy Bake Oven. Just find your favorite roadkill, chop it up, add easy bake batter, and cook.
Thanks, Roadkill Easy Bake Oven.
all the way to big movies like The Room.
You know what they say, love is blind.
Not that one.
And the Oscar goes to Brie Larson, Room.
This is the movie that showed Brie Larson as an incredible actress. And it wasn't only her performances, but Brie is also an advocate for sexual assault survivors. Now, to continue this topic, I need to address what started it all, because her activism was muddied and ultimately silenced by one single name. On July 23, 2016, we learned Brie was going to be the next addition in the Marvel Cinematic Universe when she walked on stage at the San Diego Comic-Con alongside the rest of the MCU cast members. She was very anxious about it.
The idea of my face being places and dealing with the sort of fame stuff was not super appealing to me because I am an introvert. I'm really glad I did it, and it feels like a giant win for introverts everywhere.
In 2017 at the Oscars, she presented the Best Actor award, with Casey Affleck being the winner. He got a standing ovation, but Brie did not clap. She didn't tell the reasons, she only said her actions spoke for itself. And why did she refuse to celebrate with the rest? Casey was being sued by 2 women claiming unwanted advances, non-consensual acts, and intimidation while filming the mockumentary I'm Still Here.
I regret a lot of that. I really did not know what it was, what I was responsible for as kind of the boss. I don't know if I even thought of myself as the boss. But I behaved in a way, and I allowed others to behave in a way that was really unprofessional, and I'm sorry.
This whole lawsuit thing was from 2010, but now that he was such a big deal and was about to win an Oscar, it resurfaced again. He settled, by the way. Additionally, the hashtag #MeToo movement was gaining momentum, so Brie Larson, a sexual assault survivor advocate, was highly praised for using her platform to make a protest. A small one, but impactful enough for people to notice. To really understand what went wrong, we need to go back to 2019. To sum it up, people were already sick of the unnatural way Hollywood and other media outlets were including women and minorities in their stories. And it's not like there weren't any women and minority actors and characters already succeeding in the industry, but the way the stories were written was so forced that they were ruining beloved canon characters. Let's remember what happened with the 2016 Ghostbusters.
A lot of these guys,
Terrific fellas.
who seem to have, I don't know, maybe very empty lives, are upset because they say, oh, well, we can't have female Ghostbusters because only men can fight imaginary ghosts in a make-believe movie.
Yeah, but then what they don't say when they're typing is that, like, 1 minute after they type that, their mom's like, get upstairs and take out the garbage. You're 45 years old.
But I think you're probably more right than even people would believe.
Yes.
Fans were upset because the story was cheapened by jokes. The Ghostbusters were more than that. Sure, it was a comedy, but if you watch it back, it's timeless. They didn't add any pop culture jokes, and the comedy relied on the character's personality instead of cheap fart jokes. Plus the Fall Out Boy's horrible song. It was easier to blame the basement dwellers than to listen to the fans. Not that there weren't any cringe comments about the cast being all women, but yeah. People were sick of the girl bossing, obnoxious feminism that wasn't really feminism, but a dunk on men.
Okay, so, what do you think of that?
Oh. Yeah, you do see how this might make us look bad, right?
Is it the boobs you don't like? Because I can make them bigger.
Everything was preachy, artificial, politically performative, with a good dash of moral superiority. These people are so focused on how they are the good guys, they don't see how it's monumentally backfiring. You will think they were actually trolling women and minorities.
Everybody loves Iron Man. Everybody. Shitting on and belittling a character that everybody loves in your new movie.
It's a TV show.
Nobody cares. Shitting and belittling a character that everybody loves is probably not going to score you a lot of points with your audience.
86% on Rotten Tomatoes.
How?
You were saying?
It's just not going to be successful. Again, you're doing the same shit over and over again. It's like you make something that people like, but you don't like that they like it, so you shit on it in subsequent installments. Like, oh, Tony Stark wouldn't be Tony Stark if he wasn't rich. What's the point of shitting on him?
She wasn't shitting on him, more highlighting his privilege.
That's the other thing. Stop doing that. Your audience doesn't want that either. Why is there always a message? Do you think your audience is stupid?
Yes.
Okay, I believe that you believe that, but they're not. They always know when you're pushing something, and they hate feeling like they're being lectured. It always just makes people roll their eyes. See?
I'm talking in present tense because it is still a thing.
So, I'm non-binary. What does that mean?
I cannot understand why, after people don't consume the product, it continues to be made. But anyway, this is when the Captain Marvel trailer hit. To say people didn't like it will be the understatement of the year. After watching the trailer, the consensus was that Brie Larson looked very stiff and cold. They wanted a warmer and sweeter Carol Danvers, and there were even people photoshopping Brie to look more likable. Here's the thing, and I'm not even a comic book person or a superhero movie goer. Carol Danvers is half human and half Kree. Kree is a race that can totally express emotions but is into strict discipline and control. In the movie, Carol is a fighter pilot who has amnesia, but the thing is that in her blood, she is a Kree. She is portraying someone with controlled emotions, all while trying to remember what the hell is going on because of her amnesia. So yeah, no smile seems like an obvious thing, at least to me. That didn't stop a bunch of people, a lot of comic book people, from criticizing her lack of emotions. And by the way, wouldn't that be the director's fault? The actor is just following instructions. I guess the outrage was mixed with the fact that Captain Marvel from the comics was not the same as the one in the movie, so people were upset about Marvel not following the original story. So, a rough start, to say the least. Right before the Captain Marvel movie premiered, Avengers Infinity War was still fresh in people's brains, and not only that, but it was already established that right after Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame was going to be a thing. So people were overwhelmed and tired by all these Marvel movies one after another. People were also complaining that Captain Marvel is supposed to be incredibly powerful and would basically save the world and such, but she was a new character in the MCU and people needed more time to warm up to her and accept her as the superhero she is. Both of these criticisms are extremely fair. Yeah, I remember there was a Marvel movie every time someone scratched their ass. And to introduce a new character to be the most powerful of them all? I mean, that's some heavy lifting from the get-go. The executives just assumed the movie was going to be a hit, so they made a bunch more, disregarding what could probably go wrong. And not that it did, because spoiler alert, the movie was a commercial success. Could have been better, you know? This is the problem when Hollywood, instead of focusing on good writing, prioritizes quantity over quality just to make a buck. In 2018, Brie was accepting an award at the Women in Film Awards, and she made a remark about inclusion, dunking on white guys in the process.
Because she's such a powerful woman, a powerful white woman, and she is here to take the amazing platform that she has gotten herself to help the little people. Let me help you, minorities. Let me help you, other women, because I'm so great. I am so much better than you, and I am going to reach upon you with my white privilege and show you the way of being successful, because you can't do it yourself, right, Brie Larson? That's what you think? You think that everybody else can't do it themselves. They need your help because you're such an egomaniac. Isn't that right, Brie Larson?
Well, at least that's how many YouTubers told us it happened. They all kept playing the same clip to prove she is a misandrist and a crazy feminist. We all ran with it and blasted Brie as a hateful person. Here's the full clip, including context.
I'd like to bring to light an aspect of our industry that has risen to the surface in the last week. It's an issue that's been bubbling since really the whole time, but this issue has a solution that each one of us in this room can participate in. So earlier this week, USC Annenberg's Inclusive Initiative released findings that 67% of the top critics reviewing the 100 highest grossing movies in 2017 were white males. Less than a quarter were white women, and less than 10% were unrepresented men. Only 2.5% of those top critics were women of color. So you're probably thinking right now, wow, that super doesn't represent the country that I live in, and that's because that's true. This is a huge disconnect from the US population breakdown of 30% white men, 30% white women, 20% men of color, and 20% women of color. On top of all of this, am I saying that I hate white dudes? No, I'm not. But what I am saying is that if you make a movie that is a love letter to women of color, there is an insanely low chance a woman of color will have the chance to see your movie and review your movie.
Egomaniac.
Again, let's go back to 2018 when celebrities will lecture regular people about inclusivity.
Don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and fuck off, okay?
Everyone was annoyed at that, and here's Brie, making a good point, actually. In full context, it doesn't sound evil or misguided. Forced inclusion is not the same as a natural and organic one. The industry is a male majority that has worked okay, but speaking about trying to cater to everyone, having different schools of thought, sounds like a good idea. And just like she said, nothing against the male majority, but bringing new blood to the table will be a step forward. Well, people ran with the edited clip and bombarded Rotten Tomatoes with negative comments. The movie wasn't out yet and it was crazy disliked. It was all downhill from here. There were a lot of interviews surrounding the Captain Marvel promotion, but one of them made a bunch of YouTubers continue with the rhetoric of Brie Larson being obnoxiously unlikable. This was the ultimate proof they had of those claims.
Finding our way, but it was a good group of people to figure it out with, right guys?
Yeah.
Isn't it fun being there for all my extra takes?
Trained you up in the apprenticeship.
She paid her dues on time. The initiation dues were paid promptly. And
Still waiting for my membership card that hasn't been received.
$25, yeah. That'll come. The card comes. There's all these new relationships being built, and we kind of get to come back and meet each other again, see each other again. There's a real, I think, affection among the cast members, except for...
No, this is terrible.
There were a lot of body language experts claiming the cast hated her with a passion. Fun thing about body language experts: there's no such thing. Body language is extremely complicated to deduce because it varies from person to person. You need to ask specific questions, look at their reaction, assess how they behave while they are stating the truth, telling a lie, being stressed, for countless hours. And here we have these people concluding Brie is ass, only looking at a 30-second clip, hell, even watching the entire interview. And if you think I'm being too nice to Brie, then let's see what Don Cheadle said about this interview and all the body language experts. You really have to mind read this man to think they don't like her. There was a specific moment in the interview where Brie talked about being her own body double.
You all my stunts.
I did my stunts because I thought that that's what everyone did. And then...
Tom Cruise over here?
No, I want to be the first me, not the next Tom Cruise. Thank you very much.
Wow.
She does seem very full of herself, not gonna lie, but she was actually telling the truth. She did a lot of stunts herself. She never denied having body doubles, by the way, but Brie worked a lot to put those action scenes herself. Yeah, she's a rookie, so it looks like she's not doing much, but putting myself in her shoes, if I were at the gym, crazy working out to manage to do all the stunts that could be done, putting myself at risk of an injury, while being in a big franchise for the first time as a superhero, I will also be very protective of my accomplishment. It's perfectly fine not to like someone or disagree with their thought process, but overanalyze every single movement, disregarding context, imply something based on personal anecdotal evidence. Yeah. Oh, a lot of people disregarded what Don Cheadle had to say, claiming he had to tweet that because he wanted to get paid. Listen. Gossip is something not even Hollywood people can get away from. People like to talk, especially when the actor or actress is a piece of work. And it's not only people in the back of the set gossiping. James McAvoy talked about someone at the beginning of his career being really mean to him. This actress he was working with told how she didn't think the audience would buy him with someone like her because he wasn't attractive enough. People assume he was talking about Anne Hathaway, but I digress. There's not a single actor, actress, makeup artist, designer, producer, or director who refuses to work with Brie or have some tea about her. I looked. Samuel L. Jackson loved working with her, and he has. 3 times. This wasn't Brie's first movie. There are a lot of interviews you can watch where she's completely normal as someone with anxiety issues could be. It's crazy that she is unlikable on social media, but her peers love her. You know, the people who are actively in contact with her. And that is the problem. We believe in people's interpretations of other people's interactions. That says a lot about the creator who gave us the news and the audience more than Brie herself. The other interview I remember is the Wired one, where Brie answers questions that are in the Google autocomplete search. As I remember, she sounds like she doesn't want to be there and answers in a very harsh and overly sarcastic way. Not likable whatsoever, but I haven't seen it in years, so let's see.
Where
Did Brie Larson grow up? I was born in Sacramento, but moved to Los Angeles when I was like 7 or 8, something like that. I don't really like it when people ask that question, like, where are you from? Because then I say Los Angeles, and they go, it's crazy you're from Los Angeles. No one's from Los Angeles. I'm like, oh, it's actually Sacramento. And they're like, no way, I'm from Sacramento. Where did you grow up? I grew up in, I'm like, I don't know Sacramento. And they're like, it's just hard, you know? Would Brie Larson work out? Like, hypothetically, would I at some point? Is that like a personal attack or something? Or is that a request? Do you think I should? Yeah, I work out a lot. Thanks for asking.
Yep, I remember her being quite annoyed, but I think I understand why. We already talked about her social awkwardness and the fact that she wants to keep her life private, but her humor is quite dry as well. She relies a lot on sarcasm, in contrast to her co-stars who are quite charismatic and warm. Even Don Cheadle, he's quite a serious guy. He comes across as more likable than Brie. You could say it's because of the many years putting himself out there, talking to a lot of people, responding to a lot of questions. Brie is very private as well as anxious and an introvert, so putting all of the things listed above together, we get this weird interview. I think one of the truest moments was the puppy interview. Animals have a calming effect on people, if you are not allergic, of course. And here you see Brie more relaxed. So if she seems annoyed by this interview, this doesn't mean every single one of them was the same, because they were not. They actually prove her dry humor, her sarcasm, and how her co-workers interact with her in a natural way. Probably because they understand her better than us. They all spend a lot of hours working together for many months. In the rest of the interviews, there is no awkwardness between them. There's no weird energy. Again, it is okay not to like someone, but let's be honest with the reasons why. I guess now we can continue where we left off at the beginning of the video. Brie is an activist focused on inclusion. She tries really hard to only wear clothes designed by women. She advocates for social issues, and she actively picks roles that will have deeper meaning and create a conversation about empathy and unity. I make movies as a form of activism. I believe we learn from what we see in our leaders. I'm proud to play Mason Weaver in Kong Skull Island because she represents the many journalists who risk their lives every day to share with us the truth. Weaver leads with compassion and believes that unity cannot be obtained through aggression. I'm excited to share this film with you, and in the meantime, I'm thrilled to have this platform as a way to connect us. Let's work together. Let's be open to learning from each other. This is from 2017, before Captain Marvel. She opened a YouTube channel to talk about social activism. She is a feminist, and you know who else is an outspoken feminist?
I think I grew up in the industry in a time when it wasn't so obvious that you could stand up for yourself. Like when I grew up, it was very much about sort of pandering to a male audience, or that it was another time. I've been working for 32 years or something like that, and we talked about that. My feelings about that have evolved with time as I've grown into my womanhood. And as the environment has changed, and also understanding that you can be a part of that societal change, and also being empowered by a lot of strong women too. I think it's a product of just of growth, personal growth.
Two different women sharing a cause, but only one was punished because of her personality. And it was enough of a punishment that she doesn't talk about her activism anymore. At least not as she used to. For some reason, Brie Larson became the face of forced inclusion. Was it fair? I think feminism was damaged by entitlement. Forced inclusion eclipsed the organic one. Powerful people will talk down to the regular population, and content creators saw dollar signs in collective outrage. A perfect storm that ended destroying, in my eyes, a completely innocent, introverted actress who just wanted to do the right thing. What did I learn from this? Brie is quite a peculiar person. Probably not the easiest, but I think it's because that's her personality. Her privacy is important. She struggles in a crowd. She has anxiety. She wanted to be an actress, but without the people around her. I get it. And because of the times everyone was so done with Hollywood and their holier-than-thou attitude, when Brie appeared, it was just the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't think she was one of the obnoxious voices in the media. I think she was honest when she said she wanted to help people with her platform. That's commendable. The problem is that she's the type of person who needs to edit their words or really think about the idea that wants to come out. I relate to that. But yeah, there were things she didn't say, like the hatred towards white dudes or her denying her stunt doubles. That never happened, and yet these people kept pushing that narrative, making more people disagree and dislike Brie more and more. It was a push and pull, and Brie was in the middle. I watched a lot of interviews, and I can say if I were to talk to Brie, maybe I will feel a little intimidated because she looks quite serious. But also the interviews where she's with people she knows, there's a lot of smiles, banter, jokes. Yeah, she has one of those personalities you have to understand to enjoy. I have met people who seemed difficult, but they're really not. But then again, I don't know the lady. I don't hate her. Actually, I completely changed my mind about her, remember? I was a hater. Well, not really a hater, but yeah. Geeks and Gamers and The Quartering were making video after video about Brie and about the pettiest of things, by the way. They probably got their retirement funds thanks to her. I don't know how much money these two plus the critical drinker got just by pushing content about this woman. But these are my thoughts. Let me hear yours in the comments. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Take good care of yourselves and always remember, stay curious and question everything. Bye bye.